Hello everyone, welcome back to Georgia. I'm just on the way from Martvili, where I explored some canyons, back to Tbilisi, but I decided to stop on the way in a little town called Tsqaltubo, a former Soviet resort town that now features many abandoned old sanatoriums. So let's explore. Some of the hotels and some of the spas are restored and they're in good condition. You can really still see the Soviet heritage in this place. Just look over here at this wonderful relief. This right here is one of the abandoned sanatorium. Sanatorium Shahmer. What a piece of abandoned grandeur this is. Impressive, and the building behind it is just as beautiful. Now it's inhabited by 1 million crickets and no one else. Just look at what the sides of the road here in Tsqaltubo look like. The mossy and overgrown remains of an ancient and mysterious civilization. And of course, that's what they are in a way. The remains of a once splendid place from the Soviet Union now mostly attracts tourists to look at the ruins. Look at that. This here leads to the old Ivernia Sanatorium. Let's have a look at this one, shall we? An old fountain here to the right, completely overgrown. And here the big, imposing building of the Ivernia Sanatorium. On both sides of the building you have these magical looking octagonal towers, overgrown of course, some plants coming out of them. Here you can see the imposing entrance to the building, 3 big arches supported by columns, very classical. I think it's a good example of Stalinist architecture with many classical elements. On the right you can still see a palm tree completing the Soviet holiday vibe. So let's go have a look inside this one, shall we? Going in, let's see what it's like. Oh, I can see some columns on the inside as well. Very classical look, and look at the hole in the ceiling, the same octagonal pattern you see on the towers, very beautiful. And an imposing stairway leading up. This is one of the rooms, and in this one you can see the remains of the old hardwood floors. Very cool. I've seen this in only slightly better state in some of the Soviet hotels I stayed in. It started to drizzle a bit and I'm above the entryway, above the 3 arches we saw before. See some decorative inlays on the top here. Move over here, we can have a close look at some of the details of the outside of the building, the arches, but also partitions between them. They're so decorative. The hardwood floors in this room, they're actually in pretty good state still, especially considering how it's exposed to the elements outside. You can almost still rent this room out if it was for the floor, not for the wallpapers, by the way. They're messed up. And it flows over into this tile work here, really beautiful. So many decorative classical elements in this hotel still. It's Stalinist architecture. In socialist modernism, many of these details would have been done away with later. Wallpaper as well. So much attention to detail here in this hotel. At the edge of one of the corridors with rooms, there's this beautiful, classically decorated hall. Perhaps this is where the guests could have gone to get their breakfast banquet. And even in its current dilapidated state, you still get a strong sense of Soviet opulence here. Really beautiful hall. Look at these windows as well. And a beautiful view on the outside. There's decorative plasterwork along the top of the ceiling here. Perhaps that fitting would have held a chandelier. But above here, it's given away to significant water damage. Look at this room. The typical Soviet green paint contrasted with the natural green you see outside. Beautiful, and I wonder if you have to pay extra if you want a palm tree right in front of your balcony. The visual effects of the colonnade and repeated decorative balconies combine perfectly with this rain-soaked palm tree over here to give off a vibe of a lost temple in the jungle, perhaps something from an Indiana Jones movie or something. I'm driving back in style from Tskaltubo in an old Soviet car, a Volga 24, Volga model 24. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you next time for the next one. Хорошая машина.
Машина.